Hello everyone, I'm James Dean, traditional Chinese medicine practitioner in the UK. Today I want to start with a very simple idea. Ancient medicine does not see disease as an enemy. This may sound strange because in modern language we use words like fight, battle, heal, eliminate. We fight cancer, we fight infection, we fight symptoms. But in traditional medical systems, especially classical Chinese medicine, illness was not treated as an invader to be destroyed. It was treated as a signal that the system was out of balance. Think about it in this way. If your car dashboard shows a warning light, for example, you don't smash the dashboard to fix the car. The light is not the problem. It is telling you that something underneath needs attention. Ancient doctors looked at the human body in the same way. They did not ask first, what is the name of the disease? They asked instead, what is happening right now in this body? Now, some people ask, did virus and bacteria exist in the past? Of course they did. Virus and bacteria existed in the world long before human beings. Ancient doctors did not observe microorganisms directly. They did not have microscopes, but that does not mean they failed to observe what truly matters. They carefully observed how the body responded when illness appeared. They observed fever, sweating, noisy, pain in the body, dizziness, weakness, and even changes in mind and emotions. They noticed that these responses were not random. They followed patterns because the human body has its own defensive and regulatory mechanisms. Those mechanisms express themselves in recognizable ways. Over time, ancient physicians summarized these recurring patterns and responses. From these patterns, they developed principles of treatment. This was not imagination, and it was not simplistic. It was macroscopic system of observation, classification, and adjustment, a system that has been continuously used, tested, refined, and transmitted for centuries. Without the interruption, in the case of Chinese medicine alone, this represents hundreds of millions of real clinical experiences. The fact that this data was not historically integrated into modern Western medical databases does not make it disappear. It simply means the two systems evolved separately. So instead of asking, what pathogen are we fighting? Ancient medicine often asks questions like, is the body too hot or too cold? From a modern medical perspective, when the body is too hot, we might describe this as an inflammatory response. That language is useful today, but ancient physicians did not have that terminology. What they had was directly observation. They observed fever. They observed localized heat in different parts of the body. They observed pain. They observed that some painful areas resisted pressures. The patient would instinctively pull away when touched. This was understood as an excess condition, often associated with stagnation or accumulation. In other cases, pressure did not cause resistance. Instead, it revealed weakness. The tissues felt soft, empty, or sunken. This was understood as an deficiency condition. Ancient doctors did not define illness through invisible mechanisms. They defined it through how the body responded to touch, temperature, and sensation. This was not primitive thinking. It was pattern recognition grounded in what would be seen, felt, and verified at the bedside. So, hot and cold were never abstract labels. They were summaries of lived physical responses. Is energy blocked or leaking? In traditional Chinese medicine, this is described using the concept of qi. Qi does not mean a mystery force. It refers to functional movement, for example, circulation, communication, and regulation within the body. When qi is blocked, the body shows signs of congestion. There may be pain, pressure, fullness, or tightness. Symptoms tend to be fixed, resistant, and worse with pressure. From a modern perspective, this can resemble impaired circulation, tissue congestion, spasm, or inflammatory accumulation. When qi is leaking, the problem is not obstruction, but containment. The body cannot hold what it should retain. There may be spontaneous sweating, chronic fatigue, shortness of breath, diarrhea, or a sense of collapse. From a modern medical lens, this may overlap with regulatory failure, reduced tones, or loss of systemic stability. Ancient physicians did not separate structure from function. They observed whether the body could move properly and whether it could hold itself together. Blocked means movement without flow. Leaking means flow without control. Treatment, therefore, was never about attacking an enemy. It was about restoring circulation where things were stuck and restoring containment where things were slipping away. This is why classical medicine focused on patterns, not labels, because the same diagnosis can appear blocked in one person and leaking in another. From this perspective, treatment is not war, it's adjustment. This does not mean ancient medicine was passive. It means it was precise. The goal was never to overpower the body, but to help the body recover its own internal order. In this series, I'm not here to convince you to abandon modern medicine. I'm here to show you a different lens, one that may help you understand illness, healing, and even yourself in a new way. Thank you for watching.